जय गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय कृष्ण बलराम जय वृंदावन धाम Jaya Gauranidai, 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 Jaya Gauranidai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nidai Gaura Premanande. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र शत श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र शत श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा माई यमुना माई की भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की समवेद भक्त वृंद की All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are discussing Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, text number 20. I will read the text. You all can repeat after me. guṇān etān atītya trīn. guṇān etān atītya trīn. dehī deha-samudbhavān. janma-mṛtyu-jarā-duḥkhair. vimukto mṛtam aśnute. guṇān etān atītya trīn. dehī deha-samudbhavān. janma-mṛtyu-jarā-duḥkhair. vimukto mṛtam aśnute. atītya trīn. etān atītya trīn dehī deha-samudbhavān janma-mṛtyu-jarā-duḥkhair guṇān etān atītya trīn dehī deha-samudbhavān janma-mṛtyu-jarā-duḥkhair amṛtam aśnute. Mataji. guṇān etān atītya trīn dehī deha-samudbhavān janma-mṛtyu-jarā-duḥkhair vimukto amṛtam aśnute. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Guṇān, qualities. Etān, all these. Atītya, transcending. Trīn, three. Dehī, the embodied. Deha, the body. Samudbhavān, produced of. Janma, of birth. Mṛtyu, death. Jara, and old age. Duḥkhaḥ, the distress. Vimuktaḥ, being freed from. Amṛtam, nectar. Aśnute, he enjoys. Translation. When the embodied being is able to transcend these three modes associated with the material body, he can become free from birth, death, old age, and distress, and their distresses, and can enjoy nectar even in this life. You all can repeat after me. When the embodied being is able to transcend these three modes associated with the material body, he can become free from birth, death, old age, and their distresses, and can enjoy nectar even in this life. Purport. How one can stay in the transcendental position even in this body in full Kṛṣṇa consciousness is explained in this verse. The Sanskrit word dehī means embodied. Although one is within this material body, by his advancement in spiritual knowledge, he can be free from the influence of the modes of nature. He can enjoy the happiness of spiritual life even in this body, because after leaving this body, he is certainly going to the spiritual sky. But even in this body, he can enjoy spiritual happiness. In other words, the devotional service in Kṛṣṇa consciousness is the sign of liberation from material entanglement and This will be explained in the 18th chapter. When one is freed from the influence of the modes of material nature, he enters into devotional service. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnānāñjana-śalakaya Kekṣurunmīlitam yena tasmai Sri Guruve namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guron Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Guron Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaganarginatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Kṛṣṇa Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakānvitanscha He Kṛṣṇa Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Datta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya eva ca Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langaite girim Yat kripatamaham vande Sri Gurun Dīnatarinam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So today's verse is very, very important and very, very useful for a person who wants to enjoy the spiritual happiness here. Kṛṣṇa explains that in this body, which is conditioned by the three modes of material nature, still he can enjoy the spiritual happiness, the real happiness, by transcending the three modes of material nature. The point is, the moment any jiva enters the earth, the three modes of material nature, they condition him. They make him act as per their desire. He is conditioned. He is automatically made to work under the influence of the three modes of material nature. Now, the conditioning effect we can understand just like this. In an air-conditioned room, suppose somebody is entering. Without taking his permission, all the things will get conditioned as per the temperature set. That is, when it is cooling, your bag, your body, everything will get cooled without even taking your permission. Automatically, that is the conditioning effect. So, here, when the person enters the earth, the three modes of material nature condition him. And so they will be each jiva will be under the influence of the three modes of material nature. Today, we are in the 20th text and we have seen the explanation about the three modes of material nature, how they are acting. These three modes of material nature goodness, passion and ignorance, they are in the material nature by itself. When the living entity comes in contact with them, he becomes conditioned by this. Sattvam rajastama iti guna prakriti sambhava nibaddanti mahabaho dehī dehinam avyayam. So, anyone, you should take it for granted, everyone who is coming, he is tied. He is under the influence of the three modes of material nature. Now, the real happiness actually we will not get until we transcend, we come out, we cross over these three modes of material nature. That's what we have to clearly understand. If we want to enjoy the spiritual happiness, the only way is to come out. Otherwise, we will be under the influence. So, how to come out? Kṛṣṇa explains further. After a few days we can see this. Manchayo vyabhicārena bhakti yogena sevate saguṇān samatītya etān brahma bhūyāya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, the person who is in the devotional service in all circumstances, irrespective of the happy circumstance or distressing or frustrating, anything, such a person, he transcends the three modes of material nature. Just like we hear about Prahlad, in spite of put into various difficulties, great difficulties, he was always in the total devotional service of the Supreme Lord. So, irrespective of any circumstance, if a person is engaged in the devotional service, then he will be able to transcend. Now, when a person is trying to carry out the devotional service, he has to surrender to the Supreme Lord. If he doesn't surrender to the Supreme Lord, whatever devotional service he is carrying out, it is of no use. Because devotional service, if he is carrying out without surrendering to Kṛṣṇa, it is like doing just for the namesake. He is not performing the activities totally for Kṛṣṇa. Devotional service means the service for Kṛṣṇa. If he has not surrendered and he is carrying out, it's of no use. So, to come out of the three modes of material nature, Kṛṣṇa gives the instruction in chapter 7, text number 14. Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyeya mameva ye prapadyante maya mṛtam tarantiti. You see, this Maya, which has got the power of all the three modes of material nature working under her, is not an easy thing. Don't take it easy. Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyeya. It is working directly under me. It is reporting to me directly. And so it is very difficult to come out. It is very difficult to transcend them. But, Kṛṣṇa says, Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyeya mameva ye prapadyante. When one surrenders unto me, maya mṛtam tarantiti. Without any difficulty, he will be able to cross over this Maya. So, the first and foremost requirement for coming out, crossing over, transcending Maya or the three modes of material nature is surrendering unto Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Lord. Just an example here, you see, if one wants to swim over the river where so many crocodiles are there, it is just impossible. Any crocodile can simply catch. But if one has a boat which is surrendering onto Kṛṣṇa, very easily he can cross over. Even though all these crocodiles, all these material modes, different activities, they try to catch him, but he will simply cross over because he has taken total shelter under the Supreme Lord. So, if one has got a nice boat, then he can very easily come out of the big crocodiles, even though they are there, ready to catch him very easily. This is the basic reason for our birth and death on this earth, again and again and again and again. Because we are entangled, we are bound, we take birth again and again. Some people may feel, I am reading, I am able to recite all the 700 slokas of Bhagavad Gita. We see some people outside ISKCON, even in Vrindavan and Mathura, they will be very, very proud. The way they pronounce, the way they recite, very clearly the Sanskrit recitation. And they think that all these 700 slokas, or some people, they say 18,000 slokas of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, I can recite. Recite without any difficulty. Okay, so what? The thing is, first of all, understanding clearly that he has to surrender onto Sri Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Lord. If that surrendering nature is not there in the heart, whatever the great scholarly nature, scholarly the panditya he has got, it is nothing to do. Purport in this aspect tells a very nice story many times. Narada, cobbler and the Brahmana. Narada meets the Brahmana who is so punctual in all the austerities, in performing all the Vedic rituals. And when Narad Muni meets him, so he asks Narad Muni, where are you going? Narad Muni says, I am going to Vaikuntha Loka to see Vishnu Bhagavan. So, this Brahmana says, if you are going there, kindly ask the Supreme Lord when I will be back to Vaikuntha. I am sure I will be going in this life itself, but still kindly confirm from him when I will be reaching. So Narad Muni says, okay, no problem. Then he leaves, and on the way he finds one cobbler chanting the name, the Mahamantra of the Supreme Lord and carrying out all his activities. He is a cobbler, stitching, mending different shoes, and always taking the name. So Narad Muni was surprised and he says, oh, cobbler, I am going to Vaikuntha. So cobbler pays all obeisances and says, he asks the same thing. Would you kindly ask the Supreme Lord when this poor cobbler can go back to his dham, his abode, the Vaikuntha Loka. Though I am not performing anything, but still I have a serious wish that I should go back. So Narad Muni says, okay, I will ask the Supreme Lord and come back to you. So Narad Muni leaves and goes to Vaikuntha. So he prays at the lotus feet of Mahavishnu and he tells, "O Supreme Lord, I met these two people on the way. One is a very good Brahmana who is performing all the rituals regularly, and another one, the cobbler, who is just taking your name always when he is working. They want to know when they will come back to your abode." Vishnu Bhagavan smiles and tells Narad Muni, "You see, tell this Brahmana that he will take many millions of lives to come over here. And this cobbler, yes, in this life itself." Narad Muni was surprised. "How is that, O Supreme Lord? This man, Brahmana, is performing all the rituals so nicely. And this man is just taking your name when he is working out. How is that?" Then the Supreme Lord says, "When you go back, they will ask you what I was doing. You just tell them that I was trying to push the elephant through the needle of the hole of the needle." Elephant through the needle hole? Narad Muni is surprised. "Yes, tell them. And you will understand the reaction and you will understand why each one takes the respective times to reach here." So Narad Muni comes back and tells them, "You see, I have just returned from Vaikuntha and I met the Supreme Lord there." Then immediately the Brahmana asks, "So, when I will be reaching Vaikuntha?" And he says, "You see, you will take millions of life. That's what the Supreme Lord informed me." "Huh? Have you gone to Vaikuntha?" Narad Muni says, "Yes." "So, what the Supreme Lord was doing, you just tell me." Then Narad Muni explains, Supreme Lord was trying to push the elephant through the hole of the needle. Trying to push the elephant through the hole of the needle? You think I am a fool? I am an uneducated person. I can't even understand. The needle of the hole is so small. And how Supreme Lord is trying to push through? Have you really gone to Vaikuntha? Now, Narad Muni understands this fellow doesn't have the real faith. Narad Muni arrives at the cobbler's place. Cobbler felt very happy, and cobbler again asked the same question, "Prabhu, when I will be back to Vaikuntha, have you asked?" "That I will tell you, no problem." Then he asked, what the Supreme Lord was doing, kindly explain me." "You see, he is trying to push the elephant through the needle's hole of the needle." Immediately he started feeling so happy. My master is capable of doing anything. In a small seed, there is a huge capability for the seed to become a very big tree. And the Supreme Lord has stored the whole energy in that small seed. When he had done that, this small thing for him, just to pass the elephant through the hole of the needle. If he wants, he can pass through two elephants at a time. No problem for him. He is capable of doing anything. Saying this, Narad Muni understood his deep faith in the Supreme Lord, and he reveals him that he is going back to the Godhead immediately. Then he feels so happy. the point is, even though this Brahmana was performing all the rituals, reading all the Vedas, reciting all the Vedas, but still, inside the heart, the real surrendering, real love and the faith for the Supreme Lord is not existing. So just for namesake or for reading or for reciting slokas, if we do and get some appreciation from some people, but that actually doesn't give any spiritual growth. Inside the heart, we should have the deep surrendering nature to the Supreme Lord. If we are surrendering, then only we can come out of the three modes of material nature. Then we can go back. Our life is short, so we should utilize our time as much as possible trying to implement the surrendering, the principle of surrendering onto the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, we will be just wasting our time. Once there was a king, so many people come to him for asking different things. One day, one woodcutter came to him and asked him, "O king, kindly help me, I am a poor person." So king asked, "What are you doing?" "I cut the trees and in the night I put the fire and the wood will turn into charcoal in the morning. I take the charcoal and go to the market, sell the charcoal." "Oh, that is the case. Okay, no problem. I give you 3 nice sandalwood trees and you use them. You will become very rich within a short time." 3 big sandalwood trees. So every day he goes there and he cuts the tree and he puts them on the fire, the wood, whatever he had cut or dried after some time. And then in the morning, he makes the charcoal and collects all the charcoal, goes to the market and sells charcoal for you. He is, as he was living, there was no difference. One day, the king was just moving through and he could observe that all the 3 big sandalwood trees were nicely cut. Then king thinks, "Oh, this fellow has cut all the 3 sandalwood trees. So he must have become very rich. Let me go to his place." So he goes to his place and he was surprised. Oh my God, you are still as you were. What have you been doing, my dear woodcutter? "Oh, my dear king, as per my routine practice, I have cut the 3 trees which you have given to me, and every night I make them into charcoal by putting the fire, and in the next day I take the charcoal, go to the market and sell them. That's what I have been doing. And unfortunately, you said I will become rich, but there is no difference for me." The king felt very bad. This is sandalwood. Take this small piece of sandalwood. Go there in the market. Shout, "Sandalwood for sale," and see the difference. He goes to the market and shouts, "Sandalwood for sale, pure sandalwood for sale." Then he gets huge money. 1 gold coin is a very big amount. Then he comes back. "Oh my God, I didn't know the value of these sandalwood trees. I just thought it is like any other tree. and I went on cutting all of them and turning them into charcoal and selling them. What a big fool, what a big unfortunate fool I am. He kept on lamenting and lamenting. Now his wife, when he has seen this fellow, when she had seen this fellow feeling so bad, lamenting at the place of those trees, then she says, you see, whatever has happened, happened. Forget. Whatever is remaining, use them intelligently. Go to the market and sell them as sandalwood. Make as much wealth as possible. Don't lament. Don't keep on weeping. Now whatever has gone, gone. Now whatever is left over, try to use it. This is exactly our position. We think this body is for material enjoyment, and we keep on enjoying without knowing that this human body is the one through which we can attain the Supreme Lord's abode, through which we can come out of the birth-death cycle. If we treat this body just like any other animal body, then there is no difference. We should know how valuable this human life is. If we lose this opportunity only after 84 lakh different species as per our previous lives, activities, we get back this human body. So that will be too late, and we are not sure whether we will be practicing then. So whatever we have, whatever life we have, whatever life left out in our case, we should try to take it seriously and carry out the devotional activities as given by our acharyas. So, the moment we have to know very clearly that we are under the influence of the three modes of material nature. Because we are on this earth, we are under the influence of these three modes of material nature. Each one is binding, as we have seen in the previous slokas, as we have been seeing in this Bhagavad Gita chapter 14. So, when we are being born by whether it is mode of goodness, whether it is mode of the passion or mode of ignorance, we have to take birth again and again on this earth. If we are attached to making money, our position will be like this. Day and night, working hard, thinking that it will come to an end, hamster wheel. That fellow will be running and running. It will never come to an end. It is an unending circle. Even after death also, like this ghost, he will be running after the money, after the material things. This will never come to an end. So, Kṛṣṇa gives all the guidance how a person should act on this earth, how he has to come out of the three modes of material nature by surrendering onto him. Kṛṣṇa again explains, as given in the Purport in chapter 18, about the transcending three modes of material nature and how his behavior would be. Even here in chapter 14, Arjuna asks, what are the qualities of the person, how he behaves when he has transcended, when he had come out of the three modes of material nature. We will be seeing in the further classes, and kindly try to attend all the classes. Each one is very, very important. In 1854, Kṛṣṇa explains, one who is transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahma. He never laments, he never desires to have anything. He is equally poised. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na sochati na kankshati. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. So he is equally disposed to every living being. Then, in that state of equipoised, not lamenting, not desiring, he attains the pure devotional service. So Kṛṣṇa gives advice further in 1857, in all activities, just depend upon me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, you should be fully conscious of me. So whatever activities you are performing, you always do it depending on me. Then in 58, Kṛṣṇa gives a warning. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of the conditional life by my grace. If, however, you don't work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. Macchitta sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishyasi. Atachetvam ahankara na shrochasi vinashyati. So vinashyasi means getting lost, perishing, getting destroyed. Kṛṣṇa says, if you don't work under the instructions as I have given to you, you will be lost. You will be working under your false ego and you will be lost. You will be in the cycle of birth and death. Millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of lives again and again and again. We have been doing the same thing. Millions of lives. We have already taken birth and we have already died. Unless we come out of these three modes of material nature, unless we surrender on to the Supreme Lord totally, always remembering Kṛṣṇa, never forgetting Kṛṣṇa, we cannot come out of the birth and death cycle. In this connection, one small story I just want to tell you. One guru, one spiritual master was having a lot of his disciples in his ashram. All of them reciting all these slokas which they have learned very nicely. So each one comes to the guru and explains his understanding. Sarvasya jaham hridi sannivishto matasmriti gnānam-mṛtam. Kṛṣṇa is staying as Paramatma in everyone's heart. He is the one who gives the wisdom and all that. Guru looks at the disciple. Okay, good. Another disciple comes and he explains. Good. You know about Kṛṣṇa. You know that Kṛṣṇa is staying in your heart. That is very good, excellent. One by one, all the disciples, they explained. And the spiritual master felt very happy. So tomorrow, I will conduct a small test for all of you. You be prepared. And that day happens to be Ekadasi. So, all the disciples, they sat and the Guru started. Today is Ekadasi. I brought the bananas for each one of you. Then there, one, the goat keeper, he was also listening. Oh spiritual master, oh master, have you brought banana for me also? Yes, because you also hear sometimes. So I have brought for you also. All of you come here. Take this banana, each one, one. And and eat in such a way that nobody notices you. Make your plans perfect. So each disciple takes the goatkeeper who is there taking care of the goats near the ashram. Sometimes he hears and he also takes the banana. Now, each disciple wanted to tell Guruji, I want to do like this. Shh, don't tell. Execute your plan very carefully in such a manner that nobody notices you. Next day, all the disciples have come. Now, the Guru says, okay, my dear, how did you eat the banana yesterday? Guruji, I took a dip in the river. I went with the banana and inside the water, I just took the banana and when I came out, no banana. Nobody has seen. Oh, you are very intelligent. Okay, what about you? Guruji, I went into the bushes, such a big bush. I went inside the bush and I looked at all the places. Nobody is looking at me. I just took out the banana and ate. Nobody has seen. You are sure nobody has seen? Yes, Guruji, nobody has seen me. Okay, good. One by one, each one explained. Very good. All of you have taken very intelligently. Why one banana is left out here? Who has not taken? You have taken? Yes, 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 yes. All the people. Oh, Guruji, that goatkeeper. And he came. Oh, he didn't understand what he has to do. Guruji, wait. Oh, goatkeeper, you tell me, why you didn't eat banana? Did not you understand what I told you? The goatkeeper says, I tried to eat, but you said Kṛṣṇa is living in my heart itself. Wherever I went, I could remember that Kṛṣṇa is there in my heart. He is seeing. When he is seeing, how can I eat without being noticed? All the disciples were looking at the master. The Guru says, he is the one who has really understood all the knowledge. You people, you keep on reciting all the slokas and tell the meaning, and with grammatically you explain all the slokas, but you didn't understand the fundamental meaning. Better person is this goatkeeper. Now, if we carry out our activities just for namesake, just like doing the japa, one side we try to clean our mind, on the other side heaps and heaps of offenses. This leads us nowhere. We should try to understand, check up clearly our own heart, whether what I am doing is really as required by our spiritual master or as told, as instructed by our spiritual masters, acharyas, or I am committing many offenses and I am trying to cover them. If we are doing offenses and at the same time if we don't correct ourselves, we will be doing this exercise of removing water from the boat where there is a huge fountain of water leaking into it. Without plugging that, removing really doesn't yield any result. It will take very long time in spite of chanting. In spite of chanting 16 rounds, or some people may chant even 64 rounds, and at the same time doing all the offenses. So we should introspect, check up ourselves, our own heart, our own mind, whether we are following the instructions for really surrendering onto Kṛṣṇa and getting the love and carrying out the devotional service onto Kṛṣṇa, or just as a show off to our friends or relatives or our own society. When we check up ourselves, we definitely come out. So, in today's sloka, Kṛṣṇa is explaining the three modes of material nature are very difficult to come out, but when a person comes out of that three modes of material nature, only then he will be experiencing the real happiness, which is spiritual happiness, even with the body. So we should try to get as much information from Bhagavad Gita, as much knowledge, and try to implement them. Then only it will be really useful. Hare Krishna. So, that's what today I thought I should discuss among with you. If you have any comments, corrections to be made, questions, you can kindly ask so that we can discuss for a few minutes. It's already 7. Yes, Prabhu. Rajavidya Prabhu. Please give comments at least.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for your explanation, and especially this last point, which is very important in our devotees' life. We should introspect ourselves, whether I'm doing offenses and at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, please? Please, Prabhu. Mataji, any questions if you want to ask? Mataji, you please give comments at least. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Is he Bhakta Kanakadas Prabhuji?
Which one?
Bhakta Kanakadas.
Bhakta?
Kanakadas.
Kanakadas, yeah.
I think that.
Yeah, I understand little bit. Yeah, you can explain Bhakta Kanakadas?
You have told me the story of Kanakadas banana eating, like that. He is Bhakta Kanakadas Prabhuji? Okay.
It's not exactly like that, but
I heard about it. Huh?
Bhakta Kanakadas was a very, not educated person, and he was a very great devotee of Kṛṣṇa. And Udupi temple in South India, Kṛṣṇa is worshipped with lot of care and taking all the rituals and all that. So at that time, about 500 years back, 600 years back, he came, Kanakadasa comes for taking the darshan of Kṛṣṇa, Udupi. Then, actually they don't allow him. Oh, you are smelling so bad. You belong to a very low caste. So be away. Go. They drive him away. Literally they drive. And he goes back of the temple, and there was a small window. Through the window he wanted to watch whether Kṛṣṇa, but the wall is there. He cannot see. Wall is there. Kṛṣṇa is towards east, and he is standing in the north, this side. So he is not able to see, but he is very much anxious to see Kṛṣṇa. So he prays at the lotus feet of Kṛṣṇa, "Oh Kṛṣṇa, kindly give me darshan, kindly show me your beautiful face. I want to see Kṛṣṇa." Then he sings melodiously with great devotion, Kṛṣṇa turns 90 degrees from east to the north facing, this side. And the wall, which is actually as a separation, it is seen, that wall collapses. And Kanakadasa is able to see Kṛṣṇa. And he again shouts very loudly, "Oh Kṛṣṇa, you are so kind on this very, very, very low man." And then everyone is seeing. They enter inside, Kṛṣṇa has turned. And today, when we go there, when all of us, when we want to take the darshan, we have to take darshan through, they have constructed one window called Kanakana Kidiki, that is Kanaka's window. So we have to take darshan through Kanaka's window only. That is in Udupi. So the devotion, actually Kṛṣṇa has proved, even in Kali Yuga, that a person who is having real devotion, he is always there. We have many, many very good instances like this. Thank you, Mataji. You are so kind to remind this one. Thank you. Any other thing? So we stop here. Okay, Prabhu. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, thank you
Hare
for
Krishna.
this wonderful class. You mentioned that devotional service is useless when one is not surrendered unto Krishna. And I think you were referring to the verse from Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, "One who is surrendered unto me, he transcends the modes of nature." So how can we understand when the neophyte devotee, he may practice some devotional service while at the same time not be fully surrendered to Krishna? So what's happening in this situation?
The main thing is, if we are not surrendering to Krishna, we are surrendering to Maya. If we are not connected to Krishna, we are connected to Maya, the three modes of material nature. So, when we are working under the three modes of material nature, even the goodness will bind us with the knowledge and the happiness. So in the goodness, whatever activity is carried out, if it is not for Krishna, then you get some punya, the result of good deeds. You have to enjoy. So you have to go to Swargaloka and take the opulence, come back to the earth again. So, to perform the activities, surrendering on to Krishna means surrendering all the results to Krishna. We don't want any results of our hard labor to us. We want the results to be offered to Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa had given the instruction, "Man-manābhava mad-bhakto madhyājīmāṃ namaskuru." So, whatever you are performing, you give it. If we don't give, the result is this: we are bound. If we are giving all the results to Krishna, we are not bound by the three modes of material nature, and we definitely go back to Godhead. So this offering to Krishna all the activities will happen when we are surrendered to Krishna. If we are not surrendered to Krishna, we try to enjoy ourselves under the influence of three modes of material. That's why Prabhupada has made it very simple. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Always, always, always is always, every time, every minute, 24 hours. Always remember Krishna. Whatever activity we are performing, it is because Krishna, you have given me the strength to perform. I am doing. I have no capability to do. You are giving me the strength. So the results are to you only. Krishna Arpanam. Krishna, it is for you. So, this is the one which we have to remember continuously. Then only it is possible. Otherwise, we slowly slip into Maya. We We may be singing very nice kirtan, but Maya tries to get, you see, so many people are singing. You are such a great singer. And whenever I am singing, I should have so many people singing. Yeah, I am the one who makes everyone to sing. Now, we are singing for what purpose? To gain some popularity? No. So there, if we forget Kṛṣṇa even for a moment, Maya will catch us. So, always remembering Kṛṣṇa, which Prabhupada has guided us, given us, we should follow. Hare Krishna. So, we stop here. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is ki Jai. Jai.